All right, we're live. Now, if you're looking for somebody who knows what they're doing, you're on the wrong channel. This is my very first one. I have no clue what I'm doing, but we're going to give it a hell of a run. So the first thing I think I need to do, because this is going to be so messy, is get some paper down. I don't have any newspaper, so I'm going to have to use this white paper. That'll be. We'll do 2 layers of this, plus the Mylar. Yeah, this is going to be a trip. As I've stated, if you're looking for somebody who knows what they're doing, you're on the wrong channel. But I'll just about guarantee I'll get a part out of this. I'll get a usable tank. Because I got a fiberglass coach. That's one. I think we'll go over the bench so I don't get any goobers on it. Don't need this. See here, we'll put this over here like so. This is going to be messy. Really messy. I'm not going to use PVA on this because the PVA will make it stick. We don't want any sticking. I'm just going to wax up the molds and wrap some monocoat backer, which is Mylar, around the plug, and it should slide out of there. I hope. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, there's that. Now, this here is monocoat backer material. You know, the plastic on the inside of the monocoat to protect it. That's Mylar. We're going to use that to wet the glass out with. Yo. I'm sure Danny's watching because he knows there's going to be some cussing. Now, the best I can figure, I'm going to need 8 layers to make 15 thousandths. And you ask, how did I figure that? Well, I didn't do it mathematically. I just wrapped it around there and stuck it in a mold to see if it filled it up. Now, I need some clear packing tape. And we better start waxing this. Now, I've made fiberglass parts before for motorcycles, and they turned out first time perfect. So we'll see how this goes. Alrighty, so what do I want to do here? I want to wax. That's what I want to do. So get the wax. And we need the key. There's the key right there. %100% carnauba. I spent time last night polishing on these things, about as good as they're going to get. Hey, Len. Yeah, we're going to see if we can make it work. All right. So put 2 coats of this wax on it. We're not going to get any fiberglass or any resin on this piece anyway, but I want to wax it up so it slides out. So let that dry. And wax these up. These work like I think. I'm going to send the end cap to John's to have a hole machine in it. We're going to put a bung in it for a clunk tank. Aluminum bung. So that way, I mean, I'm going to make one a plumbed tank first, but let me get some steel wool on that. That doesn't feel good. I didn't get this one clean last night. Oh, there it is. But I think the bung idea is way better than hard plumbed. And now I just need to make it work. That way, you don't have any leaks. Yeah, this is what I'm using right here. and this hardener right here. It'll be fine. Now we got to wait for that to dry. There's nothing I can do. I don't want to mix the resin until I get these ready to go. Yeah. Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat, gents. This HTR 250 is perfect. Trust me. That's what the bell cranks are made out of. That's what the pipes are made out of. The landing gear. EPON is just a brand name. 862. I don't know what the number's for. But I could find out real quick. If you guys want to know from the man exactly what's going on. Okay. I trust this guy right here.
Miss Bergie.
Hey, they're telling me they got to use EPON 862 for tanks. What's the difference?
Have they ever tried HTR 250?
Probably not. They're saying Howard Rush uses EPON 862.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's more than one way to skin a cat.
There might be. Let me, I got something here. I remember Howard talking about it. And Howard's probably done some research. And basically what you're looking at there, not only the heat that it will stand, but how much chemical resistance is in it.
Yeah.
He's saying 62?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a little bit of it. Yeah. Shit, Sparky, you're in the wrong spot. You need to be over here in Plainfield.
Why is that?
Well, I had steak today, and I got EPON 862, and I got everything you need, I think. Yeah, 862. I didn't buy that 862. I got it from Rod. He had it in his basement.
Yeah.
In the storage, and I went over there. I said, "What are you gonna do with this?" He said, "Oh, it's gone bad." And it was a little cloudy, you know. I said, "It's not bad. Let me take it home. Let me put it in my hot box for a week. It'll clear up," and it did. So once it cleared up, I brought some carbon out, and I laid up some stuff, and yeah, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But 862 is the chemical resistance, but don't worry about it. Just make the damn tank out of what you got, and then there's not going to be any difference between 862 and or HTR 250. It's all about the same viscosity. So once you figure it out,
we're online right now, so
yeah, right now you're all right. Just keep on going with the 250, and then once you get a tank with HTR 250, hell, just get an old crappy gallon of fuel, submerge the tank in it, and let it sit in there for a month or see what happens, you know. See if it is fuel proof. And then you could do a test between 250 and 862. See what I mean?
yeah, but you're 100% sure this is going to work just fine, right?
You mean as far as what?
As far as making a tank out of this.
Yeah, right now you're all right. Just keep on going with the 250, and then once you get a tank with HTR 250, hell, just get an old crappy gallon of fuel, submerge the tank in it, and let it sit in there for a month or see what happens, you know. See if it is fuel proof. And then you could do a test between 250 and 862. See what I mean?
Yeah, but you're 100% sure this is going to work just fine, right?
Well, the only thing, I don't know what research Howard Rush has done with 862.
Yeah, well,
Now, I do know that HTR 250, if you post cure that stuff up to like 250, 300 degrees, I'm pretty sure you got as much chemical resistance as you do on the 862.
okay, well, it'll end up in your hot box anyway.
Yeah, that's what Howard was looking at, the chemical resistance.
I'll make 10 tanks and send them to you UPS, and you can put them in there and send them back.
Either that or just swing by someday. We'll
go eat lunch. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I'll have to do some research. I had a big binder full of Shell EPON specs on every resin they made and every curing agent. I loaned it to somebody. I think the guy in Brownsburg, he never gave it back, son of a bitch. You know?
You're online live now, so be careful.
Well, that pissed me off.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working on this. I'm going to make a part right now. I'm online right now, so you can watch me flail around if you want.
So 862, yeah. I mean, I've got a spec sheet on the 250, but it doesn't really specify the chemical resistance. I do know polyester resin and vinyl ester resin. Vinyl ester is a lot more chemical resistant, and it's made below the water line to be submerged. The only thing I could think of, Sparky, if you call Resin Services up here in Michigan,
yeah,
and you ask them if they have any data on 250 when it comes to methanol, alcohol, nitromethane, and anything you think might be in the fuel, propylene oxide. I don't even think they use that anymore, but
no.
You might ask them see what the qualities of it are as far as chemical resistance. They probably have some specs on it.
I'm sure it's going to be fine. Yep.
Yeah, 862. First time I ever messed with it was a couple months ago when Rod gave me the leftover gallon, and I didn't want to see him throw it out. I thought I'd bring it home and see if I could use it for something.
Is that what you used the 106 in?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you use the 106 hardener in it?
Well, I can't remember what I cured it with. That's the other thing. Ask Howard on the hangout or whatever. Ask him what he's curing it with. That's another variable. So I know the old stuff is like triethylene tetramine and diethylene tetramine, and a lot of those amines, they were corrosive. They'd eat your molds up after about 12 parts. So I don't know. Ask Howard what he was curing the 862 with, or 2, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And seeing the Shell book, the spec sheet, I mean, they've got a whole page of curing agents you could mix and match. I mean, it went on and on. So you could cure a lot of this resin with a lot of different curing agents to get different properties.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll ask Howard about that.
I'm sure this is going to be fine, though.
If you need triethylene tetramine or diethylene tetramine, you got some of that. I think it's still good. It might not be, but then I got some curing agent. It's like it's almost like a snap cure stuff. It's super high temp. You put it in the oven and cook it. It goes off really quick. I don't know. I got all kinds of samples. I just ran out of time back in the time when I was doing it.
You think 2 coats of wax is enough, or should be 3?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not going to use any PVC or PVA. It worries me. It's too sticky.
Well, what you really need is this can of free coat I've got over here.
Yeah, great. I'll come right over there and get it.
Yes, that's what you really need, the pre-coat. And that can of wax you got, is it high temp wax?
It is part all paste wax number 2. It's silicone-free design film pen or general purpose release agent edge wax. It doesn't say anything. Let's see, part all 3 or 4 times. Yeah, it says to be applied 3 or 4 times. So we'll do it one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there doesn't say what temp it is, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be out of the mold when I.
Look at it this way, Sparky. If you have a problem with getting the tank off the mandrel, don't worry about it. You can slice it off there.
Well, I already cut the piece of Mylar and squeezed it. It slides right out.
Okay, that's all. Well, that's the main thing. Yeah, you'll be all right.
I'm waxing it, right now, so it should slide out a little easier. We'll do it 3 times, and then I'll mix up some wax or some resin and wet it out just like we talked. I'm sure this will be a fiasco for you. But I told them up front, if you're looking for somebody who knows what they're doing, this ain't the right video. I got no idea.
Yeah, just tell them up front. Yeah, it's an experiment. I mean, obviously people have gotten tanks out of the mold. It's just a matter of fact trying that resin.
Yeah. We'll get her done. All right, I'll talk at you later. I'm online.
Okay.
See you. Well, that's the guy that knows everything about molding components. He says it'll work. I believe it'll work. That's what he told me to use. So that's that. I'll wait a minute longer and polish that off and do it again. I got my wheels in today for the wheel pants. Now the wheels are ugly. I'm gonna take the tires off and spray paint them black. But these are 2 grams a piece. I got 6 pair. So if they take a crap on me, I can take them out of the wheel pant. 6 pair for $6. Gotta love China. This is the part here that has to be super slick, because this is the part that's going to have tension on it when you clamp it down, and you got to knock this out of these here. I can just hammer them off, but this, they've been hammering on the end of it, and I'm going to try this monocoat trick to see if we can't make it come out of there a little easier. Yeah, I know Howard's a smart guy, but just because Howard's using it or Wendy's using it or whatever, that doesn't mean there isn't something else that you can use. You wouldn't want to use resin from AutoZone, but that's industrial aerospace resin there for making composite parts. A little over $100 a gallon. It'll be fine. Well, look on Amazon. I think they do. You got to convert it for metric. Those are 196. 4 thousandths less than 2 inches. You know, I don't see as another coat will help this anymore. I'll get that sticky shit off of there. So my thought is to take this monocoat backer that ain't right. It goes this way. That's how I had it cut. There it is. Let's see here. Now we'll wrap the glass around that. And that way you can push this tube out. What do I know? Okay. This will come apart with a screwdriver because it's got a separator plate here. I didn't make this mold. I don't know who made it. I got it from Len, who got it from Wendy. I also got a spinner mold, but I'm not going to try to make spinners right now because I didn't get a backplate mold. Now, I'm not going to use Mylar on this. I'm just going to so that basically lines it up. I just hope we don't get a catastrophic lockup, which it looks like this mold has already had. You know, I think we will do another coat on these parts here, just for good measure. Wayne Trevin, okay. Now, I don't think this much matters because I can wrap that with a hammer to split it open, which it has been wrapped several times, I see. Well, we'll get some wax on it anyway. Now, the end caps, I doubt we'll get to it, the end caps in this video, but I'll make end caps off camera because I got a lot of work to do on them molds to get them right, get them clean. Should have brought in that brake cleaner. But what's going to happen with this is I'm going to have John machine a hole, machine a groove in there about 3/8 of an inch deep. And then we're going to get some aluminum bungs, make some aluminum bungs and mold aluminum bungs in there so that you can run an RC clunk tank plug. But this first one will be a normal plumb tank because I don't have that yet. I'm going to have to get that to John. Let's see. So that's 4. We need another 4. It's going to be 8 layers thick. Like I say, that's just the eyeball engineering of, you know, I didn't, man, I'm not an aerospace mathematician genius like these guys on the West Coast. I'm a hillbilly mechanic. I learned by doing. If this screws up, I won't give up. I'll try something else. But I'd be willing to bet I get a usable part first time. Yeah, I'm not worried about the tubing yet to plumb it with. End caps will be glued on with JB Weld. Okay, so that's that. Get that 3 coats on that. I like the idea of the clunk tank bung way better than 1/8 inch OD tubing. Okay. Now we're ready to start mixing up some resin and wetting some stuff out. I get this wiped off. Okay, that's that. As I stated, this should slide out of the middle much easier with this Mylar on there, not sticking to the tank, and then you can just peel the Mylar out of it. I hope. Shouldn't stick. Shouldn't stick. Okay, so that's that. Here is my setup. Here, this is 4 layers, and we're going to wrap it around. Yeah. I'm going to wrap it around 2 times, so it's 8. It can be 8 layers thick. We're going to need some more room here. Okay, let's mix up some resin. Let me get rid of this off the bench. Yeah, that aluminum tubing would be lighter, but I like the idea of being able to adjust uniflow height with the bung. Okay, I went to Sherwin-Williams and I bought some mixing cups. We're going to need 30 grams. $30 grams of resin. Okay, power. 30 grams. Oh shit. Too much. 44. Now 25% of 44 is 11. So we can just use that. That's some thick shit, boy. And we ain't gonna make that mistake with the hardener though. And this shit's like honey. I better call up Danny and see if that's right. Maybe I gotta heat it up or something. And this stuff's like STP. What do I gotta do?
You fan it with the hot air gun. It'll thin out.
Yeah, this is really thick stuff.
Yeah, that's why I said get your squeegee together.
I got it. All right.
Then, if you heat it up with an air gun, you know, like your monocoat gun or something, I wouldn't use a paint stripper gun. But,
before I put the hardener in it or after?
Well, you probably should have about 80, 90 degrees before the hardener. Mix the hardener with it and then keep a little heat on it. It'll work out.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye. Boy, it's nice to have somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. So we need 11 grams of hardener in there. But I got to hit it with the heat gun. What did I do with the heat gun? Let's see. Oh, there it is. In there. Yep, just like honey coming out of there. That's why I couldn't stop it at 30. Let's go 44, and that should be good enough. That ain't much. But he said 10 grams for a bell crank. So this should be good. Yeah. Hopefully it won't melt this plastic. Getting thin though. Okay, that thinned it out. So that's good. Now I need 11 grams of hardener. So we're going to do this different. We're going to do this with a paper cup. Because you can't mess up on the hardener ratio. If you do, you get funky properties. Danny, he's got syringes and stuff. I don't have that shit. Motor oil, STP. There we go. Oh, I see. We got a little hole in there, so let's power it up. We need 11 grams. It seems like that's going to take a lot. Oh, shit. 6. 8. What a mess. There we go, right there. Man, this stuff's nasty. I get the gloves on. Get my phone out of the way so I don't get it full of epoxy. $88. Okay. Okay, where you at? Right there. Da-da-da. This was 44 grams. Should be enough, I hope. Looks mixed. Sure don't look like enough resin to me. Now, better get gloves on. Gonna be nasty. Yeah, gonna be nasty. We were doing them molds in John's basement and the resin was real thick. The resin to make parts with, you know, the molds, the gray stuff, Alumilite. So we set it on John's heater. That was a mistake. That shit kicked off so quick it was ridiculous. I don't think it's going to be enough, but he seems to think so. Sure don't look like it. I bet we have to mix some more. Now, I don't know how Wendy did this. I never seen this video. We got plenty. I think we might have enough. Come on. Where you going? This is 2.5 ounce e-glass. I know Wendy used carbon, but A, I can't see the benefit, and B, I can't afford it. Can't afford to buy any more $100 Casminato tanks either. As long as the cloth is saturated, which it is. Okay, 44 grams is what we used. So that means this tank is going to be 1.5 ounces, or thereabouts, 1.75 ounces. I got a little resin left. Matter of fact, got quite a bit left, so 30 grams would have probably done it. I guess we could put the rest on there and work it in for good measure, I guess. I'd like to get that to lay down, but I don't want to lay down. Yeah, that's too much resin. I shouldn't add it. So Dan was right, 30 grams. But I over poured, so I know next time not to over pour. 30 grams. All righty, so here we go. We got our We got our 8 layers laid out here. It's 4 layers, and then 2 wraps is 8. Now, if we can get it on this mandrel, on this this thing here. I guess I could pick it better up from that side. Want the seam on top. Okay. These damn things off. Yeah, I'll use a brush on the end caps. I can't use a squeegee on the end caps. That was pretty painless for my first attempt. We'll see how it turns out. It should be fine. She's just squishing the resin out, that's for sure. Oh yeah, she's a goozing out of there. Man, lost a lot of going out of there. So I guessed right on the amount of wraps. Yeah. Well, we did it in an hour. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be good because the resin is just oozing out of the end of it. I mean, if we can get it out of the mold without breaking it, it should be good. And then slot them off and glue the caps on, and we're ready to go. Like I say, the first one I'm going to do is going to be the standard plumbed tank, uniflow tank, because I don't have the end caps machined. But I think instead of, because the way this is set up, it's only going to take 8 layers. It's not, I can't make it 10. I want to make the end caps. I would have liked to make the end caps a little bit stouter than the tank itself. If you look here, that resin is just oozing out the ends of it, both sides. So we won't be able to demold that until tomorrow, but to see if my experiment was a success. But I tend to think it was. I mean, I can pretty much tell when something's going to work and when it ain't. I mean, and I'm a happy camper. Thank you, Len. Because, getting those Casminato tanks, Honda does a great job of making tanks. They're $120 a piece after you pay for the shipping and all that. They're absolutely exquisite. They're light, and I haven't had any problem. I got 4 of them. But Kaz is sick. You can't get any more tanks. So I decided I was going to make my own. And Len came up with the molds. These are the windy molds. So if you watched how I did it, I wetted out the cloth one layer at a time. So I had 4 layers, and I went around the mold twice. So that's 8 layers. There's not much of a chance for there to be an air bubble. I'm going to take this, and after it comes out of here and I get the end caps done to get it together, I'm going to make a few of them. I'll get them to Dan, and he can put them in his autoclave, and we'll bring them up to 250 or whatever the hell we're going to do. Slowly bring them up like he does the landing gear, and they should be pretty much bulletproof. You guys got any questions? And yeah, Lan, after I perfect this, I'll make you a tank. And that'll be the only one I'm making for somebody. Unless they're going to pay me big money for it, $100. Because it just ain't worth doing. I mean, shit, I spent most of the day getting all this shit ready to go. I just hope it pops out of there. Well, there's no questions. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And hey, you guys, I need them super chats. Nobody's been doing that this month. I think I got about 2 this month. That's about it. That worked rather well. I don't have a knife handy. I'm really anxious to see if that Mylar monocoat protective cover is going to let that thing slide out of there. I didn't get any resin on it anywhere, so it should. You're righty. We'll see you after a bit. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.